What's the best way to build an SEO agency? And can two guys have a video chat when one has a daughter sick at home and the other has three people out on a lawn cruise cutting yards? We'll find out in today's video chat, because with me right now is James Loomstein. He is the CEO and founder of Digital Space Consulting, and he is also one of the speakers at Pubcon. He'll be giving a presentation on how to build an SEO agency. James, thanks for being on with me real quick to talk about that. I know a lot of people are interested in this. Give me a little, A, thanks for being on with me, but B, give me a little bit of idea of kind of what you're going to be talking about with regard to how to build the right SEO agency.
Sure. So thank you very much for having me, Greg. I think a lot of my talk is going to be around how do you grow and scale your SEO agency. So a lot of agencies go out and the problem that I see with a lot of agencies is that everybody is everything to everybody, and so nobody is anything to anyone. And what I want to get across is everybody goes on a lot of first dates, and I think the only way to grow your agency is to not date but to get married. And the way you get married is to have retainers, and the way to get retainers is to be the right agency to the right client. And to do that is you have to start asking the right questions. And when you do that, you have to actually start turning down work. And when you start turning down work, that's when you start growing. And when you start asking the right questions around, what type of services are you looking for? Are we the right agency for you? Identifying what type of agency you're trying to be, not necessarily today, but 12, 18 months from now. So are we a growth agency? Are we a lifestyle agency? Are we a scale agency, a specific, a sector agency, a strategic agency, etc.? So once you start identifying those types of questions, then you can start identifying what type of agency you want to be and attracting the types of clients that you want to work with. So when you're everything to everybody, then you're nothing to anyone. And when you start doing everything, then nothing is actually happening.
So it sounds like part of what you're going to be talking about are the questions that you need to ask yourself first before you hang your shingle out to go start marketing yourself and helping clients. But then there's also questions that you're going to ask of your customers to find out if they're going to be the right fit for you.
Yeah.
Would that be a fair assessment?
I think that is a fair assessment.
Okay.
I think that is one of the biggest problems and challenges that agencies face is saying, yeah, we do that. Oh, you need content? Yeah, sure, we do that. Oh, you need us to go build links? Absolutely, we do that. We need websites? Sure, we can manage that for you. You need hosting? Absolutely, we do that. And so they start scaling, and there's nothing that bringing on X contractor can't fix, or going out and outsourcing can't solve that problem. But that is not a recipe for success, and that is not how you scale and grow an agency. That is how you put a Band-Aid on. And what happens is when you start doing that is, sure, your profits go up, but your revenue goes up, but your profit margin can actually go down. And so what happens is you keep scaling and you keep driving more sales, but you just keep driving yourself into a tailspin where your sales keep increasing, but your revenue just keeps shrinking because nothing is happening. And the only person and nobody's actually winning because you're not actually doing anything, and you're just making your clients more infuriated because their expectations are so high that you can do everything and you really have no expertise in anything, and you're relying on these outsourced people to do all this work, and the outsourced people aren't really as invested in your clients as you are, right? So you're the one sitting here trying to be everything to everybody. You're the one who's trying to grow this agency, and the outsourced people, the contractors, they're sitting here trying to do all the work, but their motivations aren't the same as you and your agency. The client's motivations aren't the same as the outsourced work. And so nobody is sitting here working towards the same common goal, and nobody's winning in that situation.
Yeah. So my pushback on you about that is going to be this. People do business with those they know, like, and trust. Let's say you've been doing the thing that you're very efficient at, whatever it is. You've been offering a quality product and making good revenue because you do it very well. The client's happy. Invariably, because you've had this good relationship, they'll come to you and say, well, I have other needs as well. And we're looking to get help with content and social and graphic design, etc.
True.
You also face the dilemma, which is this: okay, if I don't help them and maybe be seen as the resource, the one throat to choke with everything,
Yeah.
then they might go find someone else that can also do what I'm doing as well. And so, because I hear everything you're saying and I appreciate and I respect that, but I also know I've been in situations where what people value is only having one person to deal with as opposed to 5 people who are doing things exceptionally well. They'd rather have sometimes mediocre, but only one person. Talk me through how you manage that situation and deal with it, because it will come up.
I get it. And my thing is, what got you here won't get you there. And so sometimes the clients that got you, and I'm talking about the growing your agency part and understanding the clients that you work with. And so the clients that you worked with 5 years ago, and this is purely a focus group of 1. So the clients, and me as an example, the clients that I worked with or Digital Space worked with 5 years ago, and the clients we went after or engaged with or prospect 5 years ago don't necessarily fit inside of our wheelhouse today. And that's not to say the clients that we want to be in front of 5 years from now, we're not even on their radar, and they don't really want to work with us. Like, they wouldn't throw work at us at all, right? So they wouldn't entertain working with us right now. We're not big enough. We don't have the team. We don't have the resources. They wouldn't put their name out there to throw work at us. One of the old adages that I say is, nobody ever got fired bringing in IBM to solve a problem, right? So, they need to have credibility in the types of agencies that they bring in and the types of people that they work with.
So let's ask you this, because I want to stay on your main topic. Give me an idea of what you think is probably the most important question to ask yourself, and then the most important question to ask a prospective customer before you do business with them. So what do you need to ask yourself before you get into business? And then what do you need to ask a customer?
So for yourself and growing and building the SEO or SEM agency is, I think you have to make it uncomfortable. I think in order to grow and attract those types of clients, I think you do have to make it uncomfortable. I think you have to make that hire. I think you have to bring on that developer, that creative person, that content writer, that whoever you're going to need. And the downside is that next client you bring on might not need that skill set. And the dilemma you face is you can't go out and hire the next client and say, oh, well, we just hired a developer. Clearly you need a developer skill, right? So, you might need to go out and, is the next hire, is it a switchblade person who can do a little bit of everything? Or is my next hire the person who can just write content, or is really good at graphic design, or is a rock star PPC person, or is a rock star content writer? So I really feel like the only way to grow is to take one step back, maybe cut into some of your revenue a little bit, build up your army just a little bit more, and then you step forward and grow with, I have these resources, we can move forward, we can go out and attract these types of clients and do this sort of thing. But if you're going out and trying to build and get to this next level of client, these, 10 million in revenue, 20 million in revenue, 50 million in revenue, $250 million in revenue companies going in with Band-Aids, and all we have is these army of contractors and these partners that we work with, and we're piecemealing this together. That's a really hard story to sell to people, versus when you're going off to the small businesses, that works to them. But when you're going after the CMOs and the directors of marketing and they have to go sell you to their bosses, that's a really hard story.
Okay, good stuff. And then tell me about the one question you should ask a prospective customer.
One of the things that we ask, we have a couple rules when we work with customers is around, how big is your team? How long has your company been in business? How big is your revenue? So they have to have some minimum qualifications in order for us to work with them. Another thing that we look for is we look to work with directors of marketing or CMOs that either lack the internal capabilities to do the type of work that we all do, or they're stretched too thin that they can't actually get this type of work completed. So they know they need to do it, they just don't have the people, or they know they need to do it, they just don't know how to do it. So if we need to go in and educate them or sell them on digital, then that's a hard battle, and we can find somebody else to talk to, right? There's enough people out there in the world that if we have to sell you on the internet or sell you that people are looking online, that people are looking online for a product or service, then why are you wasting your time, right? There's other people out there. So let's worry about the people who know they're looking online, and let's try and solve their problems, not try and sell people on, hey, is this internet thing really going to be around for a while? Like, let's just move on to the next client.
Yeah. Hey, that was great. Tell us where we can find you online. We can connect with you, and tell everybody more about your Pubcon session, when and where it's going to be, and how they can connect with you.
Oh, sure. So for more about me, website is digitalspaceconsulting.com. You can find me on Twitter at Loomstein. You can also follow me under the hashtag dadlife. I tweet a lot underneath that. My Pubcon session is Thursday. I believe my session is Thursday, 11 o'clock. Pubcon Thursday, 11 o'clock. And I'm also on LinkedIn. And that's about it.
Very cool. Hey, thanks for letting me chat with you. For those that are watching, please share this, connect with James right now, and good luck with your Pubcon presentation.